Hi there. This is ConcreteConcrete. I'm glad you're here. Today we're going to be mixing up a 500-gram batch of gray matter. Gray matter is ConcreteConcrete's studio-grade concrete mix. In a nutshell, that means you can make magic with it. If you don't believe me, test it. Let's get started. I've got gloves, a dust mask, safety goggles, 500 grams of gray matter, 50 milliliters of water, a little bit of extra water in case I need it, who knows, emergencies, some implements, a putty knife, a larger putty blade, and some silicone molds, also produced by ConcreteConcrete. I'm going to pour my 50 milliliters of water into my mix. Oh, I almost forgot. I've also got hemp fiber. This beautiful little gift from Mother Earth, farmed in northern Canada, adds incredible strength to our mix. It's amazing. Now I'm just going to bring together our dry ingredients and our 50 mils of water. At this stage, what I'm looking for is kind of a lumpy oatmeal cookie dough. I want it to be just kind of coming together, but also it should still be pretty dry. If I put it on my hands at this point, it wouldn't be sticky. It's just kind of all balled up. You know, with gray matter, you can make incredible things, but it's really important that your mix has the right ratio of concrete to water. And that ratio is somewhat dependent on the environment that the concrete is mixed in. Humidity plays a huge part, and a concrete mix before being mixed with water can actually hold a ton of ambient humidity that it just absorbs from the atmosphere. So it's kind of important. We have a starting point for water, and then the rest of it we do by feel. So here we go. Here's our mix. I'm going to dump it out of the bucket at this point. You don't have to do this, but it's nice to see it. And I actually really like handling it. So for me, this is important. And I think the concrete likes it too. This is really a part where you can connect with the material and you get a really good feel. It's one thing to look at the consistency of a material and make a judgment based off of what you can see with your eye, but it's an entirely different thing to feel it in your hands. I think it's very important. So here's what we're looking for. If I roll this into a ball, it should stay together. It should be somewhat fluid. While it's being moved, it actually should be firm up a bit, and then when you just let it go, it should just kind of slowly blob out. There we go. That's nice. So that is almost perfect. At this point, because we're putting it into these delicate little molds, if we were doing a big object, I'd probably leave it at this consistency. You'll get a really strong mix out of this. You'll retain a little bit of air, but it'll be something that's in scale to anything that's a foot cubed or bigger. This is a nice consistency. For something small like this, we're gonna make our mix a tiny bit more wet. So I'm gonna throw it back in the bucket. I'm just gonna scoop up a little bit of excess water out of my bucket here, pour it into the mix, barely anything. Just enough to kind of wet the top of this. And now I'm gonna start digging around with a putty knife. There we go. So this is just a tiny bit more wet. We haven't added much water at all, but look at how dramatic the consistency has changed. So this should really illustrate, you can't, too much water is a really bad thing. We have to be careful. Here we go. We're in our mold. Now that's nice. That's what you want to see. This casting will be incredibly strong, but see that? See that air bubble? Yeah. Oh yeah. Here we go. Look at this. Look at this. A few little hemp fibers poking out there. Now, here's the other really amazing part of gray matter is it finishes up incredibly clean. It's a very clean mix. It comes in this resealable heavy plastic bag. You can store this in your kitchen or closet, but we really designed everything around this with the idea that some people might be experimenting in a condo. They might be experimenting in a very small space. You know, that's how lots of people get their starts. So this is something designed for you, as well as the professional artists at the end of their career. But yeah, here we go. Slide this over here. Let's do a couple more. I think this part's, I just really like seeing how this mix holds together. It's very interesting. Just tap it in there and away we go. Again, I'm using almost no tools. I've got gloves, a putty knife, a bucket. You could use an empty yogurt container. Even your mold itself, lots of people will make molds at home. You don't have to have a silicone mold. This could be nested paper cups or cardboard folded together or plastic. Anything you can find, really. Something hollow that you either think you can stretch over the concrete when it's cured or break off of it. You can make something. I'd encourage you to just go for it. Okay, so there you have it. Gray matter, ConcreteConcrete. You can find out more information, the links at the bottom, or at ConcreteConcrete.com. Thank you so much for joining us.